Hi friends, Jennifer here with Jen Open Hearts, and I'm so excited to bring another audio experience offering, sharing of some of the things that I'm learning on my path, and trust that it will also have an impact on you and add something beautiful to the web of life, to this web of experience that we are all weaving together every day, every moment, every breath, every beat. So thank you for showing up and thank you for sitting with me. These conversations are about 10 minutes plus or minus, enough for you to connect to the heart. So just giving gratitude for you for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this theme for today is connected to softness and softness with your journey, learning and intending to releasing judgment about the past, and remembering that everything that has happened created the you that exists here and now. So what I found in my life experience is that oftentimes we can be pretty harsh on ourselves. I'm not where I want to be. I made a mistake earlier. I said this instead of that. Like kind of this self-berating attitude that can almost become autopilot, right? We're so used to doing it that it becomes second nature. And it doesn't have to be that way, which is the wonderful thing. We can choose to change the pattern. We can interrupt the pattern. We can be soft, right? This theme of softness that I am bringing into my life, into this year of January, or this month of January. Just allowing yourself to grow, right? Nobody said growing would be you plant a seed, you water it, and voila, you have your tree, your flower, whatever it may be. Sometimes you have to prune. Sometimes you have to really add some things to the soil. Sometimes you have to put some shade cloth over it. You know, all these different things that we have to do to really nurture this journey of growth and to let ourselves grow exactly the way we need to. When we get very hard against ourselves, we can be very critical. And when we are critical, I feel that we can be contracting, right? So if we're overly critical, why'd you do this? That was wrong. That was so stupid. Why did I say that? Da 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 da. Like all the things, right? It's almost like the energy, if you can imagine it within yourself, instead of like glowing brighter and brighter and brighter and expanding, if we're using this kind of language in our minds, right, it all starts with how we think. This energy can get very, very small, very dim. And it's almost like the Ram Dass and East Forest collaboration of sitting around the fire. It's like there's this ember that's inside of us, right? This beautiful energy, this glowing energy, this vibrant energy. And as we live our lives, you know, this harsh inner critic, this little gremlin that's hanging out with us, can be very, again, self-berating. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm this age and it hasn't happened yet. Da 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 da, right? All the things. And so how can we honor our inner ember, honor our inner light? How can we be soft with ourselves on our journey and just accept it all as perfect, right? Everything is teaching us something. Always, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, that's when we're learning the most. Even in the moment we have to process, we're feeling sad, we're feeling upset, we might be feeling all these different things, but it's the moment that we just, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm choosing to be content. I'm choosing to be soft. I'm choosing to allow and accept this. And I'm choosing to move forward from this place, right? If we continually hang out, right? It's like if you imagine all of us are growing in a spiral, right? If we zoom out, if we're looking at our lives from this more abstract notion of like, you know, we zoom out really far, we have this great eagle perspective, we're looking down, and I see the Jennifer that's growing, right? She's on a journey, she's on life, she's high on life, and she's spiraling, right? This is nice, this is my life, it's my journey, I'm always growing. But within that spiral, we can almost create our own little mini spiral where we're looping the same thoughts, looping the same judgments, remembering the old stories of the past. I remember 10 years ago, XYZ did me wrong, and this is why I am the way I am, right? We can be kind of the victim of our lives instead of the creator. So like, how can we be the creator? We move forward. We release the past. We honor the past. Thank you. You've taught me this invaluable lesson that, I did not want to learn it, but I had to be exactly where I need to be. And that's that, right? It's not saying those people were okay, right? That did something terrible. Some of us have those scars, right? Some of us have those aspects of self that are challenging, and they're ugly, they're terrible, they're all these things, and that's okay. But they can also be great teachers, right? If we look at it objectively and we zoom out, we can say, wow, look at that happened. And we can even see it first as a teacher, but we can even reimagine that past. Like, wow, I had to go through that to be who I am in this moment. Breakups, right? Addiction, struggle, self-harm, like all these different things, thoughts, whatever it may be. It's like that happened, and I'm choosing to move forward in my life for the highest good of all, myself included. And maybe we can thank those past versions. Like, wow, she went through that and she still opened her heart after all that, right? It's not easy. Nobody said it was easy. And that's why I feel a lot of people turn to religion and spiritual practices, because that's an invitation into this understanding of the spirit, of the soul, and the remembering that this is a journey, and it's a kind of like a timeless journey, right? If we zoom way out into human history, especially in like these more, I don't know, modern, I wouldn't say completely modern, but like it's a human thing, right? It's a process. It's part of our lives that most beings who are human have experienced love, have experienced heartbreak, have experienced so many different things. And so how can we be soft to those parts of ourselves? And there's so many amazing practices that we can connect with. We can, write these versions on paper. We can give them to the fire, give them to the water, tear them up, burn them, whatever you have to do. Thank you. Wow, you were so strong, and you are so strong. And because of this, you are very strong. So it's just very cool when we start to flip the script. It's like the awareness of a situation, of a state of being, of a story, and the ability to pivot or to switch course or to get back on the path, because you can look at your life and say, 5 years have passed and I still am thinking those same thoughts, right? So it's like, how can you really truly release the judgments and glean the wisdom, right? The grist for the mill, like Ram Dass says. So something I like to do that has been really powerful and challenging, uncomfortable, right? But also, I think, empowering for the most part, is to look at what are the hardest parts of your life and what was the greatest lesson that came out of it. What was the greatest lesson that came out of it? Even through the tears, the anger, judgment, what did you learn? There's always something, I promise. And if you're not there yet, that's okay too. Some things are very, very difficult, and it can be hard to have a compassionate eye. But when we have that compassionate eye, and we open it, and we allow it to be open, and we get out of the mind and back into the body, back into the heart, we realize like everything that I did got me exactly where I am now. And if where you are is in a favorable space or place or state, beautiful. And if you're not, that's okay too. It's kind of like a movie that's playing, and you can change the movie. Where do you want to be next, right? Like, what are the thoughts, the habits, the rituals, the actions, the words? What's going to get you into that next state of being, right? Because you're always learning, you're always growing. And a friend of mine explained like the spiral to me, and it was just so profound and so beautiful, and her language was like pure poetry. But it was like, you're here, and even us as humans, us as beings of light, the plants, the trees, all of it, like there's studies of trees and like visual photo documentation, video documentation that shows the tree is growing in this very gentle spiral that's imperceivable to the naked eye, right? We need to have cameras that capture it in real time over periods of time to see the spiral that exists. And the same is true for us. We're here and we're living our lives, we're navigating our lives, and we're all on a spiral. And there's parts of the spiral that you might have had the trigger or the mistake or whatever it is. But the good news is that we, even when that comes up again in our lives, we are not the same. We're always changing. It's like the adage of the same man never walks in the same river twice, right? The man is always changing, and so is the river. So even when we show up in our lives and we're on our path, we're doing good, and then the judgment comes up, right? It's like, what's the seed that I need to plant in my mind and in my heart to get past this? How can I be neutral? I am witnessing judgment, right? I am witnessing discomfort. But you're not shame, you're not discomfort. It is merely like a hat that you're choosing to wear. You're like, oh, right now I'm wearing the hat of discomfort. Okay, cool. But inside I'm still that beautiful ember. And this takes practice, right? I'm not someone who has it embedded all the time. I'm not there yet. I'm getting closer. And that feels really wonderful to witness that, getting closer to who I want to be. But when I slip up, when I mess up, when I go back to those easy patterns, do I berate myself, or do I say, it's a chance for growth. I'm choosing to grow. I'm choosing to honor my growth. I'm choosing to honor my unique process, my unique timeline. And again, one of the biggest lessons that I keep learning is that it's an inside job. We spend way too much time thinking about how we can make someone else different, better, the way I want them to be, right? All this stuff. But it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. And the only thing I can really do is work on the quality of my own heart, the quality of my own thoughts. And it's just trusting that step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. When we breathe in that breath, we can breathe in an idea, we can breathe in an understanding, we can breathe in a new thought. We can breathe in that presence, that softness, right? I'm just thinking back to softness is like when we breathe, especially just normal deep breathing, no breath of fire, stuff like that is wonderful. But I think the softness, for me at least, comes when I'm breathing slow and steady and just letting the belly get very, very soft and just trusting the process. So I just want to plant that seed today for you, whoever you may be, just releasing the judgment about the past, allowing those elements and aspects of yourself to be composted, to trust that they did serve a mission, they did serve a purpose, and it's beautiful. And just remembering that everything that has ever happened created the you that exists right here and now. So I hope you can find some time to bring in some softness and some compassion, some self-compassion, maybe just squeezing, putting your arms over your chest and squeezing your arms on opposite sides, just really allowing yourself to be in the body. I like to put one hand on my heart and rub it. That always makes me feel, especially in those challenging moments, if I can at least put my hand on my heart, I'm bringing that awareness to that energy center instead of like the fire that wants to be ablazing somewhere else and saying things I might regret. So I just want to bring in those seeds as well for you, and just wishing you such a beautiful and love-filled day. I'm so excited to continue bringing these audio messages, these inspirations, these connections to you, and I hope you continue to listen and to share, and just wishing you the most beautiful day. Thank you.